What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, the two new upcoming packages, the next infrastructure package known as the American Jobs Plan, and the next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan, as well as what is going on in the world today. And, well, what is going on today is a $600 stimulus check just got approved for tens of millions of people. We're going to get into that, and then we're going to get into the fourth stimulus check negotiations that are going on right now. And we're actually going to hear directly from Senator Joe Manchin, who is a key crucial vote in passing the next stimulus check, the next stimulus package, and the next infrastructure package. So if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates, and hit the like button for us. Okay, first, this first stimulus check that was just approved is going to go out to like 25 million people. And this comes on the state, city, and county level. If you've been watching the show, you know that states, cities, and counties are getting about $350 billion with a B from the third stimulus check package. And we're continuing to see more states, cities, and counties pass more stimulus checks and stimulus programs that could put money in your pocket. Also, make sure to watch all the way to the end of this video, and I'm going to tell you why I'm almost certain that there will be a fourth stimulus check included in this next package. Yeah, you definitely want to watch to the end. Well, as you can see here, as of today, California has just approved their second round of the $600 stimulus check, which they're calling the Golden State Stimulus number 2. Okay, who gets these and when? As you can see here, we'll scroll down here. Both chambers of the California legislature approved Governor Gavin Newsom's plan to send an additional $600 stimulus check to residents across the state, sending the legislation to the governor's desk. Again, both chambers of the California legislature approved Governor Gavin Newsom's plan to send $600 stimulus checks to residents across the state. Okay. First proposed in May, Newsom's Golden State Stimulus number 2 expands on the first round of payments that went out in April to people making up to $30,000 individuals or less and received payments. In this second round, by the way, those $600 stimulus checks here from the first round for $600 are still going out. I see comments down below in the comments almost every day for people that made up to $30,000 in the state of California that they're receiving their $600 right now. So those are still going out. If you're on SSI in California, I believe you can get it without filing a tax return. Let me know down below in the comments. I've seen several people that. Let me know if you got your California stimulus check for the first round for people making up to $30,000. The second round just got approved. We'll get to the rest of the details here, but let us know if I heard they're going out by zip code as well. So different zip codes, or they're just kind of going methodically down the row of zip codes. But let our viewers know if you got your $600 state stimulus check from California, and there's going to be a lot more states doing this here in the near future. In this second round, taxpayers who make up to $75,000 a year and did not receive payments in the first round will receive $600. They're expected to send these out to about 2/3 of all Californians. And as you can see here, state officials estimate that roughly 2 out of every 3 Californians will receive these stimulus payments from round 1 and round 2 combined. You can't get both rounds. It's an expansion, so you can only get the $600 one time. But families with dependents will receive an additional $500 in direct payments for a total of $1,100. I do believe that will retroactively go back and give the additional $500 to people that got the $600 the first round and have children but didn't receive the extra $500. So you actually can receive an $1,100 stimulus check here if you have children and live in California. Another $500 will also be made in direct payments, checks, to undocumented families. State officials estimate that roughly 2 out of every 3 Californians will receive these stimulus payments. That's about 25 million people, so it's a lot. As for timing of such payment, the bill containing the new checks is now on the governor's desk. This is his plan, so I don't see any reason why he won't sign it. But the rest of the budget bill is not, so I don't know, it might be a day or two delay or something like that until he signs it. but these will probably go out in July. So yes, if you're from California, 25 million people are going to be receiving these $600 or $1,100 stimulus checks from the state of California, as well as I'll link you to a video I just did at the end of this with all the other states, cities, and counties that are doing these type of stimulus check programs or stimulus programs that could put money directly in your pocket. I'll be giving you guys weekly updates on different states, cities, and counties as they all figure out what they're going to do with their own share of the money that they're getting from the federal government. A lot of states are only getting half their money up front, and they're going to get the other half of the money once they prove to the federal government how they spent the money. They can only approve it in approved ways from the federal government, and they have to spend a portion of the money directly on the people. So some of this money is not going to be coming out immediately. If you're from one of the states that say, our governor's doing nothing, it's very likely that it will happen in the near future. So I will keep you up to date on this. As I said, all 50 states and territories are receiving money from the third stimulus check package, and they have to spend a portion of the money on programs like this for you guys. So if you're not from California, I get it, but I just did a recent video about all the states that are doing programs like this that I will link you to at the end of this video. Okay, next up on the fourth stimulus check negotiations, the fourth stimulus package, the American Families Plan, as well as the next infrastructure package, the American Jobs Plan, that has a bipartisan agreement that's hanging on by a thread, that we'll have to see if it makes it to the finish line with that. Here is Senator Joe Manchin, Democratic senator from West Virginia, who's really a key vote. And I get people ask me, why is he such a key vote? Well, it's probably because some of our viewers would say he's a dino, a Democrat in name only, just like they call some Republicans rhinos, like Mitt Romney, Republican in name only. But ultimately, at the end of the day, both Mitt Romney and Joe Manchin do end up voting with their parties about 99% of the time. Joe Manchin just happens to be one of those guys that happens to like say, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to vote for this, or I'll vote for it, but I want to make a couple modifications. And that's exactly what happened with the third stimulus check package. He did vote for it, and the Democrats did pass the third stimulus check package, which had the $1,400 stimulus checks, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for adult dependents and college student dependents, largest stimulus check yet to date, as well as those child tax credit monthly checks that are approved for just this year, just 2021. They're probably going to extend that till 2025 or permanently in the next package, as well as they're talking about Social Security increases, Medicare expansion to include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids, as well as lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60 or age 55 is among the things they're talking about in this next package, as well as a $25,000 home buyer credit, 2 years of free preschool, 2 years of free college. There's a lot in there. And Joe Manchin's one of those guys that, like, if they spend too much or if they don't try to work with Republicans, he'll back out of the deal. So he's a very crucial vote to make sure that he's on board with the next package. Well, here is his latest updates on the negotiations over the infrastructure package and the next package, the reconciliation package, which is called the social infrastructure package, or part 2 of the infrastructure package, or also known as the next stimulus package. Yeah, it has a lot of different names, but just so you kind of know which package they're talking about. Here we go.
Nancy Pelosi and Bernie Sanders, what are you going to do about this? Do you believe they need to drop their demands? Because they're saying without a big package that they want, they're not going to play ball on yours.
Well, let's look at it this way. This is the largest infrastructure package in the history of the United States. And I truly believe these are people who really understand public policy. They understand that you have to take the win when you can get it, that this mammoth piece of legislation, a little over $1 trillion. We haven't done it. We've been talking about it for how many years now, through how many past administrations. The country needs the infrastructure we're doing right now. Roads and bridges. There's more bridges here, Stephanie, than since we built the interstate highway system. We're talking about the largest infrastructure grid system, really clean energy technology, everything that we're doing in this. Just my part of it in the Energy Committee is close to $95 billion. And we're working on that now. So I would hope that everyone would look at this. It's something that we can do. It's doable in a bipartisan way. Take that victory. And then let's go. We know they're not going to go to the human infrastructure because of the adjustments of the tax code. I've known that from day one. but we can still go through the process, knowing we'll probably have to go to reconciliation, and then do what we can afford to do.
So really, if you kind of read between the lines of what he's saying here, he's saying that he knows they need to pass the next bill through the reconciliation process, which means he knows they need his vote. So he has to vote yes on this next package. So it's honestly pretty good news, because they're basically saying, or he's basically saying, that yes, he knows that he has to vote yes for this next package. So what does that mean? That means he's probably going to end up voting yes for this next package, the next stimulus package. So we don't really need to worry about his vote, really. But I kind of think the thing we'll need to worry about is the negotiations over what will actually be in this next package.
Their concern is, if progressives' concern is, if they get on board and sign on to this bipartisan bill, then senators like you are going to lose your appetite for doing another big economic package. What's your response to that?
I don't think that at all. There's a need in both. The social adjustments that we need to make in this country to help working families survive and prosper and maybe attain that American dream. It should never be a dream that has died and gone away. The American dream is what gets us up every morning and works every day, as hard as we do. Let's give them a chance at that. So we know we need those adjustments. But saying I'm going to not vote for the other one because you haven't guaranteed to vote for everything, we've never done legislation that way. I've never been a part of it in 10 years I've been in the Senate. So let's work the legislation the way it's going to be presented. Let's make sure it goes through the process, make sure it goes to the committees, comes back to the floor, and let's work it. If no Republicans, which I don't think we will have on the second one, I'm not assuming that, but I've heard them speak. So then we're going to have to work it through reconciliation, which I've agreed that can be done. I just haven't agreed on the amount because I haven't seen everything that everybody is wanting to put into a bill.
So this addresses a lot of people's comments over the last days or so that Joe Manchin will never vote for it. Well, he's basically saying he's agreed to vote yes on it. He knows that they're going to have to pass it without the Republicans, the next stimulus package. And he knows it's going to be done through the reconciliation process. He just said, I agreed to it. I just don't agree to everything in the package because I don't know what's in the package yet. And that's where we come up to those final details of, yeah, there's about 20 different items, 20 different stimulus items, like Social Security increases, Medicare increases, possible fourth stimulus check, monthly recurring stimulus checks possibility, possibly extending the child tax credit, the possible 2 years of free preschool, possible 2 years of community college for free, possible, home buyer credit, all these different things, right? He's basically saying he's agreeing to pass the bill. He just needs to see what's in the bill. Then they're going to negotiate on the final details of the bill. But he's basically saying that he's giving them their vote. He knows he has to vote yes on this. And, it's going to pass. The question is, what will be in the bill? Those are the kind of like it's almost kind of like we don't have to worry about it actually passing anymore because Joe Manchin's on board. He's about the only one that could defect. Remember, they need every single vote in the Senate. They need all 50 Democrats to vote yes on it, just like the third stimulus check package.
Which I've agreed that can be done. I just haven't agreed on the amount because I haven't seen everything that everybody is wanting to put into a bill.
Then let's go back to the first one. You are working with Republican senators, but are you concerned that the likes of Mitch McConnell is going to pull the rug out from under you and block this? It is what he's good at.
Here's the thing, Stephanie. No one's given us credit for what we've been able to do in a bipartisan way to date. When you look at what we've been able to accomplish, President Biden has accomplished more in 5 months than any president that I know in modern history. I've never seen this much accomplishment. Talking with American Rescue Plan at 1.9, and then we've done so many pieces of legislation that have gone through the process. I give Chuck Schumer, who's controlling the calendar, all the credit for allowing it to go back into the committees, being worked the way it's supposed to, come to the floor with amendments, and Republicans get a chance to put their amendments on the floor, which we haven't seen. Mitch never gave us that situation before, that we really could work a bill through a process that we've called what needs to be done and what we've hoped for. We have that chance now. Let's continue on. Now, I know I don't agree with what Mitch's decision on January the 6th, the commission. It needed to be done. I still hope that can get done. I know Nancy is going to do a commission in the House. I respect that, and I think she needs to. I hope it's balanced. We'll see what comes out. But there's a lot of commissions going on. I hope we do one overall. And the other thing is that there's the things that we did with the hate crime bill, 94-1. Republicans had amendments, Stephanie. The amendments they had would have changed the bill completely. They lost the amendments and still voted for the bill. That's what you need to do.
So honestly, this is very good news, because maybe one of the roadblocks that would have prevented us from ultimately passing the next stimulus package would have been Joe Manchin. I mean, in fact, I've probably seen hundreds of comments that said Joe Manchin will never go for it. So yeah, there'll never be another stimulus package. So I think that this pretty much confirms that he will go for it. The question is just they're just going to have to negotiate the details. So he basically said, I agree to the next package. I know I have to vote yes for it. I know they're going to pass it through reconciliation. So honestly, this is really great news. I don't think that passing the infrastructure package, the first part, the physical infrastructure package, I don't really think it matters if they pass it by itself or if they pass them in tandem and Nancy Pelosi doesn't let him go vote. Joe Manchin's already saying he's going to vote for the second part of it. I personally don't think it matters whether they hold it ransom and make sure they both pass at the same time, or if they just pass the infrastructure package, get it out of the way, get it done. It's great for America, creates millions of jobs, gets rid of all of our lead drinking pipes across the United States, all that stuff right in there, right? We may even see some emergency broadband internet credits there to help people pay their internet bill, extension of the program going on right now. I don't really see an issue with either way they pass that. I think that we just need to make sure that the stimulus package is going to get passed, which is through reconciliation, which means they need all the Democratic votes, which Joe Manchin's really the only one in question here. I mean, maybe Kirsten Sinema, but I mean, it's really just Joe Manchin. And what will be in this next package? And Bernie Sanders kind of talks about this. He says, for those who say the budget framework for the two packages combined would cost too much, what would you cut? Combating climate change? Childcare? They're proposing free childcare, or we'll have to see how it ends up, but it might be reduced childcare or free childcare for certain people. Free universal pre-kindergarten, which would be free preschool for children. Paid family and medical leave. These are just some of the kind of like the 20 items that could be included in this next package. Free dental, vision, and hearing, which would be included into Medicare, and this would be forever. So I personally think a lot of these things are very important because, free preschool as well as free college. He's not mentioning everything here, but those things would be things that would go on forever. Imagine being able to get free college of 2 years forever. Imagine being able to get dental, hearing, and vision included into Medicare forever. They also want to lower the Medicare eligibility age down to age 60. Long-term home health care could be something that might be free in this next package. An extension of the child tax credits. Those are those monthly checks of $250 to $300 per month going out to parents who have children starting in about less than 2 weeks from now, July 15th. So those are already approved, but only for 1 year. They're probably going to extend that in this next package. Okay. I also personally think because there's so much support for another stimulus check, I do think another stimulus check will be added in when they get down to the final negotiations. Even Joe Biden has said that the weak jobs report makes it clear the need for more stimulus. He's actually said that he is open to a fourth stimulus check. And he's also said that he's happy to hear about a fourth stimulus check, as well as if Congress wants to include another stimulus check, that they can put it in this next package. We have Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority Leader, that are actually seeking up to $6 trillion in total for the combination of the two packages, which would leave plenty of money for stimulus checks at the bare minimum, a single stimulus check. Remember, the third stimulus check, costs about $400 billion. So that's only about 7% of the $6 trillion. So that leaves plenty of money left over in these packages. In fact, there's about $1 trillion or maybe even more money left over after they use $600 billion for the infrastructure package. That is still money that is approved from past stimulus packages that they can use for the next stimulus check as well, without even printing new money. In fact, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Bernie Sanders are part of 28 lawmakers out of the 50 from the Democratic side in the Senate that are actually for monthly recurring stimulus checks, not just a single stimulus check. So over half of the Democrats in the Senate as well as over 80 lawmakers in the House of Representatives, including Democratic Representative Jayapal, who is pushing for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. Or I'm sorry, a $2,000 one-time stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring stimulus checks until 1 year after the pandemic is declared over. She's the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, and also along with Senator Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer, who are like the Democratic leaders there, are pushing for these monthly checks. Even at the bare minimum, I think we'll see a single stimulus check, because if they demand that a stimulus check be in there, and we just have so many different Democrats pushing for monthly stimulus checks or a single stimulus check in this next package, that remember, they need every single Democratic vote to pass these next packages, or the next stimulus package at least. And with so many Democrats in favor of it, I do think that at the end of the day, they'll have to add the stimulus check in at the bare minimum, a single stimulus check, probably $1,400 if I had to guess, if it was just going to go a single stimulus check route, because there's just so many Democrats in favor of it. They don't need every single Democrat. Just like Senator Joe Manchin, is so important because he's just one guy and they need to make every single Democrat happy. So if just Joe Manchin can change the way the packages are because he's not happy, you better believe that 100 different Democrats that want a forced stimulus check are going to demand it. I mean, if just Joe Manchin can be the one person that can change the packages, the swing vote, if there's 100 different Democrats that want a forced stimulus check, I would personally believe that there's no way there's not going to be a stimulus check in this package. And when all is said and done, there's plenty of money between these two packages and the money that's already available from past stimulus packages that hasn't been spent to use for another stimulus check. So I personally think there will be another stimulus check added into this package before all is said and done. So I will keep you up to date with everything. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. Remember, new videos come out every day here at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start getting into a lot of the big details that everybody wants to hear of what is going to be in this next package. We got pretty much the confirmation from Joe Manchin that he will pass it. So now it's like, hey, what's in this next package? And then we go to the voting. So don't miss any episodes. I will keep you up to date. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. This bottom video is the states, cities, and counties that are passing their own stimulus checks. And this video is about President Biden's Social Security raise. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.